Why should we feel confident that you, as a steward of public funds, can do this?
Well, I think if you look back in 2008 and 9, the school went through not the same thing. It was actually different. It was when the recession hit and the state actually cut its budgets to us by, millions of dollars. And we, made it through there. We did very similar thing. We actually had 34 layoffs of full-time people in 2009, I believe it was. And, we made it through. We started rebuilding. And, we've served a lot of students since then. We've added 4-year programs since then. We've done a lot for the communities that we serve. And I think as we go forward, you'll see students, hopefully, more students coming, obviously would be a good thing. But, we're still going to serve our communities.
Welcome to In Focus on NCW Life. I'm Steve Hare, your host. My guest today in studio is Patrick Tracy.
Correct.
With the union that represents the faculty of the Wenatchee Valley College, specifically the Association for Higher Education. We asked Patrick to join us on the program today to share with us some of the concerns that the faculty has right now with the president of the college, Jim Richardson. And this results, of course, from a projected $1 million shortfall that the college is facing in the coming year, and the resulting layoffs that have occurred of 21 employees or faculty members at the college.
Not faculty.
Not faculty.
No, this year there are layoffs amongst the classified and exempt employees. And
Stand corrected.
Yeah, faculty, there will be looking at faculty layoffs for the upcoming year.
That's right, because we did have a chance to talk with President Richardson about that several weeks ago, and I should have known. So thank you for correcting me on that. Let's get a little history of what's going on here, Patrick, from your perspective.
Well, basically the story that the president has put forth, we don't agree with his interpretation of the events that have led up to the crisis, and we certainly are not happy with the way he's presented it to the college, employees, students, and to the media. And we certainly are not happy about the way he has handled the crisis since it happened, since it was announced in October of 2019. And we now are not very happy about the way the Board of Trustees has responded to our request to have President Richardson removed based on a 91% of vote of no confidence in the president amongst full-time tenured faculty members.
How long have you been president of your union?
I've been at Wenatchee Valley College since 2012. I'm the director of and instructor of the Medical Laboratory Technology program, and I've been union president for 2.5 years.
Okay, and during that time, has this been an ongoing issue?
For as long as I've been at Wenatchee Valley College, I have seen no irregularities really between the employees and management of the college, including President Richardson. And as union president, I would say that I've made it a point to work collaboratively with the president and the Board of Trustees. So, for example, the president and I agreed that we would work together in Olympia at the legislature to secure funding for Wenatchee Valley College. With the Board of Trustees, I set up a system where faculty members could come to the board and present what they're doing, because the Board of Trustees, really their only conduit between themselves and the faculty or what's going on at the college is the president. So this program or this process allowed faculty or allows faculty to come present what their program is, what they're doing, what they've accomplished, what their goals are for their program, for their students, and for the college as a whole. So I would say that up until this crisis, that relations really have been quite good.
Well, the news that the college is facing this budget crisis has prompted certainly the layoffs. Is there any dispute as to what caused this financial crisis in the first place? In our talks with the president, of course, they're citing low enrollment numbers, lower than anticipated. And that's resulted in this budget shortfall, basically. Is there any dispute on that front?
Well, in my opinion, this budget crisis just simply pushed the college off the edge after years of fiscal mismanagement. So one thing I do agree with is that student numbers are down, but that has been a 10-year trend. So since 2010, there's been a decrease in student enrollment, or what we call FTEs, full-time equivalents. It's not a head count of the number of students. It's a way of measuring the amount of credits that are being taken. And there's been an 11% decrease between 2010 and 2019. Now, at the same time, there's been a 24% increase in hiring. So student FTEs basically are the income of the college. So you have a 10-year decrease in income with a 10-year increase in spending. And right now, 86% of the college's budget goes towards salaries and benefits. So even the college administration admits that that's just unsustainable. It needs to be down around 82%. So, I mean, who's making the decision to drive that up to 86%? For me, it's the president, and the president gets signed off by the Board of Trustees. So those two, the president and that body are responsible for this situation. Now, moreover, we're all aware that the college is building right now. So since 2010, this is our fourth new structure. So in 2010, a dorm was built. In 2012, the Music and Arts Center was completed. 2017, the Student Recreation Center, and now Wells. So based on those first three projects, the college has millions of dollars in capital debt. Now, the Methuen Valley News reported that the Wenatchee Valley College received $32 million for the Wells project, but it's supposed to cost $37. And I got confirmation from the college administration that they were applying for a loan. So I'm guessing that that's probably a $5 million loan. So more capital debt. And in your interview with the president, he said that capital money or money for capital projects cannot be used for the operating budget. But what it seems as, though, is that the operating budget is being used to pay the capital debt. And for that reason, the college has no reserves. And for that reason, this blip of a student downturn simply has sent the college into this crisis. So this notion that somehow this rogue wave just came out of nowhere and almost capsized the whole ship, it just, for me, if you look at the history, it's just doesn't support it.
We did talk to the president about past challenges in terms of fiscal management, and he referenced, during the recession, 2008, when there were also significant layoffs at the college at that time, and he felt confident that we can overcome this crisis now, and felt fairly confident that he would be a good steward to doing that. So you question that then?
Well, to say that we wouldn't come out of it, the college is not going to close its doors. Students should not have to worry that Wenatchee Valley College, they're going to show up to their class and the doors are going to be padlocked. So of course we're going to come through it, but it's how well we can come through it. So for me, the person or the president and the Board of Trustees basically have led us into this situation. And the way the president has handled the situation since it was announced. So instead of uniting the college to work together to get through this, he has simply driven a wedge between the different groups. And I would say that our call for his resignation due to the vote of no confidence, and then the response that the Board of Trustees has given was very disheartening. Basically they just seem to look at us as a group of petulant children. And as I said, President has been at the college for 14 years. He's never been the subject of a vote of no confidence. In my opinion, the faculty and the employees have had a good working relationship with him. So This is not something we have taken capriciously. This is a very serious matter, and we feel that our intervention is absolutely necessary.
It's my understanding that you are currently in negotiations on a new contract.
That is correct.
How much of these grievances are tied to that?
I would say absolutely zero. So in the Wenatchee World this weekend, past board member and board chairman, Phil Rasmussen, wrote a letter which he started out by saying he needed to come to the defense of his friend. So he is Jim Richardson's friend. So as far as I know, boards of trustees are supposed to be independent bodies that can provide objective oversight to the running of a college. So he also suggested in that letter that this may be due to contract negotiations, which I cannot agree with at all, because contract negotiations are in process and they have been slow, but they have at all times been positive and in a forward direction. Both sides have been engaging in a collegial and professional manner. And if for some reason they're drawing to a close, we expect that they will finish soon. And if for some reason these negotiations were interrupted by someone or something, that would come as a complete surprise to the union. We have not heard anything from administration about being dissatisfied with the negotiation process.
Well, this has been left off, I think, as far as your public or your publicity of this, is in your letter following the board's response to your vote of no confidence. And in your letter to the board, you say, we understand that this is now a long-term battle. We are not going away. What's your next move at this point?
The union is not going to be rushed into anything. So we are in the process of analyzing the situation, and when we come to a decision as a group about the steps that we will take, that is when we will take those steps.
Let me ask you this. Have there been any requests for concessions on the part of the union, given the current financial situation at the college?
So that's part of the wedge that I spoke of before, that the president has driven between the different groups. So at the when the crisis was announced, it was immediately announced that there would be layoffs and furlough days, 10 furlough days. So for faculty, that's absolutely impossible for us to take 10 furlough days due to accreditation. We just can't simply stop, not be teaching, right? I mean, for accreditation purposes. So it was impossible for us to take those days, and I would say that the other groups on the campus resented that we did not take those days, but we did put in $100,000, and I would say that it is possible. We are always open to negotiation, and we are open to negotiating to put in more into the kitty, so to speak, to help the college get out. But I would say as long as President Richardson is in the presidency, that would be difficult. Moreover, faculty layoffs are supposed to come this next year. Mm-hmm. So even though 21 classified and exempt faculty or employees were laid off, our turn is coming.
Okay. Patrick Tracy, representing the union of Wenatchee Valley College faculty members. And any final words that you'd like to share with us before we let you go?
Well, I can't really let this conversation go by without talking about the president's salary. Okay? And of course, I have to talk about the students. Okay? So the president in 2014 earned $199,000 a year. In 2019, some numbers have been batted around, 260, 263, 267, so we're going to take 263. So that's a 32% increase in 5 years. Now, the president has a contract through 2022. So if he continues at that rate, he's going to be making just under $300,000 a year. Now, that's between 2014 and 2000. His last year, that's a 50% increase.
You think that should be renegotiated? It's a contract.
So I don't know if there's anybody at the college who could even come close to touching that statistic. Not the faculty, not the classified, not the, nobody.
Okay.
Okay. So, one of the things that we've done is we've compared the president to other presidents. So and the statistics or the data that we're going on is from 2019 because we don't have current data. So in March 2019, the 5 highest paid college presidents were on the west side of the state. And by the way, there are 34 community and technical colleges. President Richardson was number 6. So if we were to do a cost of living analysis, for example, if President Richardson if we had to have his salary, what he has here, and the cost of living here at Bellevue or at Skagit Valley or at Everett, these other places, he is the highest paid president in the state. And on top of that, when it comes to looking at student FTEs, so like I said, this is a way of judging the number, it's not a head count, but the number of credits. So Bellevue College, that president has 10,769 FTEs and a salary of $265. Our president has 2,830 and a salary of $248. So the president of Bellevue has almost quadruple the number of FTEs under his responsibility.
Okay, so your argument is that he's being paid more than what he should.
Correct.
Let me say in comparison, how do faculty wages compare with other colleges around the state?
Actually, I can't cite any statistics on that, but let's just put it this way, that Wenatchee Valley College faculty earn less than K-12
What is the average salary of a faculty member at Wenatchee Valley College?
Steve, I know I have a lot of statistics for you today. I'm thinking 50-some thousand,
Okay.
like that. But the college has a policy, and that policy is on the Human Resources website. And let's see if I have it here. Yeah. So basically what it says is that the president has the authority to assign salaries for exempt staff. And that those salaries should be based on market trends that may impact recruitment and retention. So
To remain competitive.
to remain competitive. So Wenatchee Valley College faculty earn less than K-12. And I'm not saying that we should earn more than K-12, but we should be on par with K-12. So how are we supposed to recruit and retain faculty if that's the case?
Okay. Unfortunately, we're running out of time here, Patrick.
I have to get one
One
more
more point.
quick thing. Sorry. This is about students, okay?
Absolutely, the bottom line.
Yes, the bottom line. So students this fall learned that they are paying new course fees, and now they are learning that they have a reduction in service. So they're asked to pay more and get less. So what we have to keep in mind, and what I think all employees at the college understand, is that our purpose and our goal, our purpose at the college is to serve the students. And at this point, I don't feel that the president and the board of trustees understand that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. Again, Patrick, Tracy, joining
Yes.
us on In Focus. I'm Steve Hare, your host on NCW Life.